unconstituted to be there as the authority. Kò dẹ̀ wà láíláí.
For advert placement and inquiries, call 0803 552 9883.
YS Live with Yemi Sonde on Splash 105.5 FM. YS Live.
YS Live.
YS Live.
Yes, good morning. This is YS Live. Yemi Sonde Live on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. This morning, we're going to look at issues that concerns our nation, state of the nation. So many issues. We'll be able to mention a few of them and discuss as time permits. Of course, my guest is well seated. I still expect another guest, but of course, Kule himself will do justice to whatever we raise before the second guest comes in. Kunle Olatunji is my guest. He's a management consultant and former special advisor to Governor Ajimobi on media and publicity. Kunle Olatunji is my friend, yes. He's a friend of the media. He's a media person and a public analyst, public affairs analyst. So yes, good morning, Kunle.
My brother, good to see you again.
So nice seeing you this morning.
Pleasure.
And you look good too.
Thank you very much.
My regards to your wife.
Yeah, same. You're looking good as well too.
One nation, many issues. We're going to have two analysts, but for now I have one anchor. That's Yemi Sonde. And uncountable listeners, our audience at home, everywhere you're listening, this is YS Live, Yemi Sonde Live on Splash 105.5 FM. And of course, we're going to look at so many issues. Some of these issues, Nigeria's army chief, 10 others killed in plane crash. We'll look at some issues surrounding that. Buhari's absence at late chief of Army Chiefs Burial, Ratu Security Community. We're going to look at some issues like bill seeking to scrap NYSC reaching second reading in House of Reps. Mixed reactions as bill seeking to scrap NYSC reaches second reading. Some of these issues we'll discuss. Insecurity in Nigeria, that's a major issue. And the collapse of the social contracts. Yes. Let's run to the G. I'm sure you are ready. Southern governors ban on open grazing is dangerous. Malami warns. And Akeredolu tackles Malami. Says governor's decision to ban open grazing irreversible. These are issues. PDP Oyo local government election landslide. PDP wins Oyo local government election landslide. The PDP won in 32 out of the 33 local government areas. We'll discuss that as well. And Nigeria, threat of litigation docks July Lagos local government poll. Threat of litigation dogs July Lagos local government poll. I have no preferred candidate in Lagos. I have no preferred candidate in Lagos local government poll. Tinubu. Okay, that's huge. So many people don't believe that, though. Some people say it's a political statement. Some say he's saying the truth because of his ambition. He doesn't want to stain himself or tarnish his chances. Well, we'll discuss that. The national leader of All Progressive Congress, APC, Bola Tinubu, has denied the claim that he has endorsed any candidate for the forthcoming local government elections in Lagos State. Okay, we'll look at some of these issues. As time permits, I hope we'll be able to discuss all of those that I've mentioned. I really hope. But let's see how it goes. Yemi Sonde lórúkọ tèmi ẹ káàárọ̀ gbogbo bí tẹ́ ẹ ti ń gbọ́ wá. Yemi Sonde live ní Splash 105.5 FM rédíò ọmọlúàbí. Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí ó jẹ wá lógún gbà tó kàn wá gbọ̀ngbọ̀ngbọ̀n lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí, àwọn nǹkan tí a fẹ́ mẹ́nubà láàárọ̀ yìí nìyẹn, àwọn ara nǹkan tí a fẹ́ sọ nìyẹn, tá àsìkò bá gbà wá á sọ gbogbo ẹ̀ látòrí bí ọ̀gá àgbà àwọn ológun tí wọ́n papòdà àtàwọn mẹ́wàá tó kù, ọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ báwọn èèyàn ṣe ń sọ wípé kò yẹ kí Buhari má sí níbi ìsìnkú ẹ̀ àtọ̀síbàjò, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ló ti wà lórí ẹ̀. Wọ́n ní wọn ò fẹ́ kí NYSC ó ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́, àwọn ọmọ tó bá kàwé tán tó máa ń sìnrú ìlú, pé ìsìnrú ìlú wọ́n fẹ́ gbàdànù ètò kò fẹ́ sí nǹkan gidi kan bẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí lọ́dọ̀ yìí, ẹ̀yin ló bá a dá sí láàárọ̀ yìí o, àjọ sọ ni o, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ sí i. Ètò ààbò tó mẹ́hẹ lórílẹ̀‐èdè, ọ̀rọ̀ ńlá ni. Ètò ààbò tó mẹ́hẹ lórílẹ̀‐èdè, gbogbo bí ní ètò ààbò làbí kó ti ń mẹ́hẹ, nǹkan tó sì kan gbogbo wa gbọ̀ngbọ̀ngbọ̀ngbọ̀n ni. Ọlọ́run bá yanjú ẹ̀. Eléyìí tí wọ́n ní àwọn gómìnà lọ ṣe pàdé tí wọ́n ní wọn ò fẹ́ kí wọ́n máa fi màálù jẹko níta gbangba mọ́. Màlámì mọ́ ti sọ pé kóbókòbó mà ní ohun tí wọ́n máa ń sọ̀hún. Akérédolú ló sọ pé kò sí tó jọ, àwọn ò ní padà lórí ìpinnu yẹn, àwọn ò ní jẹ́ kí wọ́n máa fi màálù jẹko níta gbangba. Nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP ló máa kó gbogbo àga ló máa jókòó lé. Ó máa kó gbogbo àga ńlẹ̀. Gbogbo àga ló jókòó lé o, ìkan ló kù yìí tí ó sì kù yẹn wọ́n fẹ́ tún gbò yẹn dì ní. Ìlú local government kọ́ yẹn. Wọ́n fẹ́ tún gbò yẹn dì ní. Àmọ́ gbogbo ìtàn ti dì báyìí. Gbogbo àga yẹn pátá PDP ló jókòó lé lórí. Tó àmẹ́nubà o. Èyí tó ń bọ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Èkó ti ìdìbò ìjọba àbílẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Èkó ní July. Oríṣiríṣi àwọn ẹ̀sùn ó máa fẹ́ jẹ́ ó fẹ́ ṣe àdínàgbò òkú ẹ̀ o. Ẹjá máa wò bọ̀ bí ó ṣe lọ. Àlejò mi ti wà ń kalẹ̀, politician ní kí n pè ní.
Gbogbo ẹ̀ kọ́lọ́hún ṣá máa ṣàánú wa. Àṣà lè sákò Nàìjíríà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ti jẹ́ olùdámọ̀ràn fún gómìnà wa àná tẹ́lẹ̀, kọ́lọ́hún kó fọ̀nù kẹ́wọn, Sẹ́nẹ̀tọ̀ Abíọ́lá Ajímọ̀bí. Wọ́n sì jẹ́ ẹni tí ó mọ̀ nípa iṣẹ́ ìgbé ìròyìn dáadáa. Wọ́n tún jẹ́ olóṣèlú pàápàá, ó ti ẹ̀ dá bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá ti kọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú àjẹ́ kan sọ̀rọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí olóṣèlú á sì máa yọ àwọn kò mú òkun ọ̀rọ̀ bẹ̀.
Jẹ́ ń sọ̀rọ̀ bí ọmọ Nàìjíríà. Yóò fẹ́ dá báwọn kí n sọ̀rọ̀ bí ọmọ Nàìjíríà.
Kò mọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ bí olóṣèlú.
Agbádá méjì mo wọ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí. Agbádá olóṣèlú, agbádá àkọ́kọ́ agbádá ọmọ Nàìjíríà. Then later la wa tún wá mú
olóṣèlú.
Mi ní dá ayélé sápá kan.
Agbádá èwo ló wá balẹ̀ jù láàárọ̀ yìí?
Bó bá ṣe rí láṣẹ sọ.
Èwo ló balẹ̀ jù?
Agbádá ọmọ Nàìjíríà ni ẹja wọ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí o. Orí gbogbo tó wà lẹ́yìn gbogbo alọ́kàn. Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ kọ́ leléyìí. Ọ̀rọ̀ bí ayé gbádùn. How we are going to enjoy as citizens of Nigeria. Some of us can't do without participating in developing this nation. We have had opportunity of being, the system has invested in us heavily. I think it's important for all of us to participate and ensure that we have a nation that is worthy of recognition in the affairs of the global system. We have the capacity in Nigeria to be great, to be greater than we had now. We will be looking at all of these issues as we go into the program.
All right, yes, welcome on board, Kunle Olatunji, my friend and politician and brother and former special advisor,
assistant, former assistant,
to the former governor. Say Balaji Coin.
No, Adedayo, Festus.
Festus Adedayo.
Festus was in charge then. Special advisor. We're all contemporaries. All of us are friends. We're all professionals. We thank God. We're coming along with Yemi. Is it a long way?
I like to see myself as a young boy like Desmond.
I've seen you too. Yeah, sorry. I'm a young man.
With the grey hair.
No, those are Eluboni.
Sorry.
All right.
One nation, many issues. Nigeria's army chief, 10 others killed in plane crash. That's our first major focus this morning. The incident occurred as the plane was landing at Kaduna Airport due to inclement weather, the army says. Nigeria's top-ranking army commander, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atairu, and other military officers have been killed when their plane crashed in the country's north, according to officials. The incident on Friday occurred due to inclement weather as the plane was landing at the Kaduna International Airport. The armed forces said in a statement, adding that the crash claimed the lives of 10 other officers, including the crew. There was no immediate information provided about what may have caused the plane crash, but Brigadier General Mohammed Yerima said more details would be released soon. The names of the other military officials who died were not made public. But of course, by now, we all know the names. Chief of Army Staff Ataru was only appointed by President Muhammad Buhari in January as part of the shake-up of the top military command to better fight surging violence, including the more than decade-long battle against the Boko Haram armed group. Buhari, a former general first elected in 2015, has been under increasing pressure from allies and critics alike over his government handling of mounting security problems in the country. In a statement, the president said the crash was one mortal blow to our undebly at a time our armed forces are poised to end the security challenges facing the country. The U.S. diplomatic mission to Nigeria called Ataru's death a tremendous loss to Nigeria. On Twitter, adding, "We join Nigerians in mourning the tragic loss of life from today's plane crash," unquote. Nigeria's military has been battling Boko Haram in the northeast since 2009 in a conflict that has killed more than 40,000 and displaced some 2 million. Atairu died as reports emerged that Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau had been seriously wounded or possibly killed after clashes with a rival faction. The army chief had once been in charge of leading the frontline offensive against Shekau in the northeast in 2017. Local intelligence sources said Shekau had been seriously wounded this week when the ISIL-linked Islamic State in West African province, ISWAP, attacked his stronghold in the Sambisa forest in the northeast state of Borno. The sources said Shekau was wounded when he shot himself to try to evade capture. Now, there are issues there. There was plane crash. We lost the army chief and 10 other military officers due to bad weather.
In quotes,
bad weather. That was the report we had as at now. Yeah. Am I right?
You're right. Very correct.
But remember that we've had this kind of experience too some few months ago. It's becoming unbecoming. Are we saying the aircraft is
they hold?
Should be, yes, maybe
they hold. Are they not?
Yes. Was the aircraft not checked properly before it took off? Was there no?
We will not be preempting the reports from the agencies that are saddled with the responsibility of checking and confirming what actually happened, because they have to get to the rebels. And the first thing will be to get the brain box, the black box of the aeroplane,
of course,
and then begin to look at details before they can release anything to the public. So we will not be preempting. It is not ideal to preempt the reports. But at the same time, it is sad that at this time, when we are hopeful, according to the late Coas, the chief of army staff, he came up with some some restive hope that hopefully it would be tackling the security challenge of Boko Haram, that we have been experiencing for the past almost close to about 10 years now. I remember when we were in government, one of my colleagues got a very serious distress call, intimating us of the likelihood of something like this to happen. Believe me. So I will go to that. And we of course, we were quite not positioned enough to... We just mentioned it to the organization, to the various, individuals that are supposed to know. But nobody knew it was going to escalate to this level. So it's like the challenge we're having in Nigeria is that the leadership of the system of our country, they need to wake up to reality. That this thing is a global problem, I agreed. Because ISIS is not only about West Africa alone. There's so many other countries are experiencing. Even America is having some form of distress in terms of the influx of these very, very dastardly people. We need to face reality now. It has claimed the life of our chief of army staff, so to say, because we were informed that he was on an assignment as regards the issue of how to resolve the insecurity problem. And the man came up shortly before he died, and he was talking tough that by the grace of God, before the end of this year, there will be some level of rest of mind for Nigerians as regards the issue. And
that gave us a lot of hope.
And it gave us a lot of hope. Suddenly, the man just it was off the system, naturally, or one will not be able to say now until the reports are out. That is it an act of accident? Is it
an act of God?
Or is it a human error, challenge that we have there? So of course there have been the security apparatus of the country needs to be overhauled. Some of the I can't say exactly what are the ages of those aircrafts and some of the equipment that are put in place, but obviously the security system have been complaining. Our agencies have been complaining all this way that they need to upgrade their facilities. So obviously it's possible that plane is an obsolete plane or is not in the best of condition. And we are proud to say that we have the best of well-trained, well-exposed professionals in the Army and the Air Force as well as the Navy. Even in the Nigerian police. And Nigerian police have gone to several countries in the world, all over the world, to support and develop their policing system. So we are proud to have competent hands within the system. But if you have competent hands and you don't have the right equipment to work with, there is virtually nothing you can do. So I want to believe that it's now time for us to look at the architecture entirely. Look at the security architecture of the country and discover areas where there are issues, where there are problems, where there are challenges. And government should spend quality money to develop that aspect. I think it's probably it's a technical challenge that they have.
Probably it's a technical challenge.
I really don't want to say that. I don't want to believe that. Of course, when things like this happen, even when it's a natural disaster, some people want to take advantage of it and say, we blew the plane, we caused the accident. It's possible that we cannot say exactly now what happened because there are several news flying around. So government should also come up with exactly what actually happened. There's no big deal about keeping issues in secrecy, so that we can learn from our challenges. I agree with you that in governance there's need for confidentiality. It's not every so
that you don't scatter the nation.
So, but if there
you don't raise
you don't raise people.
You don't hit the policy. Yeah.
So if there are issues that we need to learn from, and people should know what actually happened. There's nothing bad about government coming up with this is what happened in society that are well, say I don't want to use saying climbs, because we're also saying here as well too. There's nothing to be hidden about such incidents. The government will come up with the reality what actually happened, and so that people will learn or make recommendations. There are some professionals who can say if you can go it this way, if they are well informed, they know what actually the problems are. They can offer suggestions. So we then as regards the way the burial of the Kwas and other army officers, the other officers that were involved, as regards the way they were buried, and in the absence of the president, which you mentioned there.
Yes, I was coming to read that reaction.
So for me, it was a military affair. It was a national affair as well too. You never can tell what other assignments the president had and the vice president as well, because I know by my understanding of our president and the vice president especially, they would not be in that they were actually in sad mood. Of course, it was a national tragedy. They would not be in that kind of very irresponsible attitude to not want to attend the burial. There are probably some issues, national issues, that kept them off. I do not think it was a deliberate attempt not to attend the burial. So people should not read meanings to some of these issues.
Well, before I come into this, seriously, you were talking about sometimes you were informed that some people should not, board a plane, or you were talking about something, you said you'll come back to that. Was it a security report that you should not board a plane or something? No, that wasn't.
I was talking about the issue of the insurgency, the Boko Haram, before it's actually got to this level. We of course, you and I will know that we are privileged to have information as media people. That a group of people have already been trained within the system, within Nigeria, and that they're already here. The Boko Haram at that time had not gotten to this level. And of course, government will have information that they're in the country. Some people are training in the country, just like it happened in the state recently. That some people came to enter the army barrack, and they claimed that they were supposed to come for training from whoever happened, until the people in charge took control and said, "No, who sent you here?" They will have entered the army barrack without anybody checking them. So there are lots of issues of carelessness. People are reckless abandonment of responsibilities and not working on information on time. When you have information as the government, and I'm talking about the government people now, work on it. Immediately take action. Connect with people that are supposed to handle whatever function you have, whatever function that are related to the information you have. It's not everything that the governor himself or the president himself will have control, will be in charge to handle. And leadership, like I always tell people, is not about you as a leader knowing how to do everything yourself. It's about having people around you who have responsibilities to carry out certain functions and handling those functions with utmost sense of responsibility. That is the problem I think we have in that aspect. And so, if we want to look at the whole issue of national politics, which you have identified in some of the issues I've identified here, we have to look at the issue of leadership. Leadership is the critical factor in any national development. If you are, let's take an example of this institution, Splash FM. I think Splash FM should be celebrating about the 14th or 15th year of existence now, and it has grown in leaps and bounds. I want to agree with you. Want to agree with me that what has made that possible is the quality of human resources handling this place. In any organization, just like we're talking about the country as well too, there is need for you to look at the human resources, that are in charge of handling every aspect of the system. What people have been given responsibility in terms of the legislative functions. They've given responsibility in that of executive functions, judiciary. All arms of government have various roles to play in national development. Are we having people in charge who have the capacity to develop? To really take the country to the next level? Yes, we have people in this country who are competent. We've had people in the past, for instance, in judiciary, who have even helped other nations. Just like Akinola Guda was in, I think, Botswana and Uganda for quite a number of years. We have a number of our national, leaders who have helped other countries to develop. But Bolaji Yemi was in United Nations. Justice Elias, Justice Ajibola, they all did well in that. We have these people. Nigeria is not short of good hands. But the challenge we have is that where are those people who had done greatly in the past? Have they also mentored younger people to also take off from where they left it? And then again, we have the challenge of people participating in politics. Majority of our colleagues are age group. When you talk to them about participation in politics, they tell you, I'm not interested. And you are talking about developing a nation, and you're not interested in participating in developing that nation. You are leaving the management of a state in the hands of mediocres, and you're expecting quality performance in the service delivery. My brother, you are joking. For us to move forward from where we are now, quality minds, responsible individuals, people that have capacity must be involved in managing this nation. And it's not about the amount of degrees you are putting together you have with you, whether you have a PhD or whatever, anything. No, it's about having quality education, yes, as well as having capacity to also deliver, as well as being exposed You must be exposed. You must have been exposed. You must have probably handled certain functions effectively. We have seen you handling certain functions effectively well before you can commit the life of the nation to your hands. What we are having in Nigeria today is simply leadership challenge. Nothing more than that.
Leadership shot. Now, there have been a lot of reactions to Buhari's absence at the funeral of the army chief. Okay, my second guest is there. Fatah Adeshokon, political and social commentator, is an APC member.
Same as myself as well too. So it's an APC affair this morning with Yemi Sonde Live.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning,
everybody.
So we are looking at different issues now. On the Buhari's absence, let me read some of this. What I have here. Nigeria is not worth dying for. We will rather resign, as some of the common statement from military officers cited. You have said it that Buhari did not attend, and it was represented by the defense minister, Bashar Magashi, Abi.
Yes.
And now, the absence of Buhari, who returned from a trip to France on Thursday, May 20, drew outrage from Nigerians, with many describing it as inhumane and irresponsible. Omanango has monitored several WhatsApp groups where senior security officers share personal and official views of the nation's security situation. In the past 24 hours, these social media groups have been inundated with expressions of dissatisfaction. Now, a general consensus is noticeable that the president has no excuse whatsoever for staying away from a funeral of his own chief of army staff. This is a bad body language at the time of low morale in the army and loss of faith in the country, one officer said. According to another member of the Nigerian military, though the name of the officer is not mentioned, our sacrifices mean nothing to these politicians, and it is time we get this into our head. Yet another officer wrote without further explanation that there will be consequences. Nigeria is not worth dying for. We would rather resign, as some of the other common remarks cited by the Omango. Now, on the other hand, there are officers who have justified Buhari's decision on the grounds that the time between the air crash and the burial was too short to make adequate security arrangements to ensure his safety. You want to tell me that is reasonable?
They're very, very reasonable.
It has been pointed out that what happened was not an isolated case, but part of a long history of non-attendance at such occasions to honor the country's fallen troops. Buhari was similarly absent from the burial of over 100 soldiers killed in Metele, Borno State, that's Northeast Nigeria, in November 2018, and that of 5 Navy staff officers killed in a helicopter crash in Damasak in Borno in January 2019. On Monday, November 7, 2016, 7 military officers killed by Boko Haram terrorists were buried in Abuja, including Lieutenant Colonel Mohammed Abu Ali, who had been nicknamed Sakin Yanin, that walking for his remarkable courage in battle. But rather than attend the funeral service, Buhari sent his former chief of staff, Abba Kyari, whose burial he later skipped in April 2020, and embarked on a walking visit to Edo State the same day. Likewise, it has been close to 2 months since 2 pilots, Flight Lieutenant John Abolaniwa and Flight Lieutenant Ebiapu Chappell, went missing after their fighter jet crashed during a routine mission in Sambisa Forest area, Borno. Buhari has, however, not released a statement acknowledging the tragic incident or sending condolences to the victim's family. In contrast, there are several examples of past and foreign heads of state attending the funeral ceremonies of military personnel who died in the course of duty or visiting the deceased family. In September 2006, for instance, former President Olusegun Obasanjo was noted to have hurried back to Nigeria from an International Monetary Fund (IMF) meeting in Singapore following the death of 10 military generals in an aircraft crash. Meanwhile, there is still room left for damage control. The President Buhari should visit the bereaved family of the late Chief of Army Staff and other deceased officers. This is an advice. Now, coming from all these antecedents, the reactions, the points that were raised there, do you make any sense out of this? Adeshoko?
Thank you very much. I think people sometimes we don't know what we actually desire, and it's a deliberate blackmail on the president personality. And in Yoruba parlance, they'll say, "Ti majesi bantoju kini kanse inkan banuje ni." The president, without holding brief for him, is saddened. He's not happy, and I have some certain affinity with the villa, particularly the office of the vice president, and I know the feelings of the presidency. If Nigeria lost a gem in the person of a chief of army staff, it's not a cherry news. It's not something worth celebrating that a president will now put on agbada or kaftan to the funeral. And some of our people are not thinking otherwise before they can actually be attacking or telling the president he was not at the funeral. The Minister of Defense was in charge. He represented the president. At a period, sometimes you reflect that a lot of sadness going on in the country across, particularly banditry, kidnapping. Just 2 days ago, less than 48 hours, a wife of an APC youth leader was kidnapped in front of our compound at OD for Aromolano here in Ibadan. So the entire APC family and Oyo State, we are mourning, and that we are praying to God for this woman to be returned back to her husband and the family. She
was kidnapped in the presence of her husband.
Of course, and it's an understatement that the husband, Magaji Arakuta, is devastated. So all these things cumulatively, if somebody in our party is now saying our chairman of Akioke has now actually visited Arakuta, how does that suggest not being sensitive on the plight of the person? So of essence to us is the life spent by the chief of army staff and the other likes that lost their lives. How would we avert such occurrence in subsequent dealings in our daily lives? Remember when we were having plane crashes during Professor Abu Shadi as aviation minister? Obasanjo didn't go to Lisa village. He didn't go to anywhere. But he was actually, he converged people at the villa. How do we move forward? Aviation in emergency meeting. Then Demure was appointed as NACA DG then. And we saw the difference. The essence of leadership is not about crying. If I don't have food in my house, it's not for me to be crying in the compound as a husband. I have to go and borrow. Look for food for the family. Not to be crying in my compound that I don't have food though. So my wife is crying, my children are crying, I'm also crying. No, I have to go out. So the president is actually feeling the pulse of the nation. He feels so bad, terribly bad, that a young man, 54 years old, lost his in a tragic manner. So, it does not worth celebrating. Attending the funeral.
People are not saying he should celebrate. People are saying he should at least have attended the funeral.
He couldn't have attended. The vice president was not there. It was deliberate. When people are too sad, they are too sad to attend a funeral of a chief of army staff, somebody piloting affairs of our defense ministry. It's somehow, I wouldn't know what our people would do. You see, deliberate blackmail has been going on. When you see somebody that lost her husband in a manner that she never expected, and she was dancing 11 months after, people went to town that she was celebrating her husband's death. And even in Islamic jurisprudence, there was never a law that bars somebody to be sorrow perpetually because she lost her husband also. Even though if you are she has entitlement in Islamic jurisprudence to even remarry. So I'm just painting a picture just for you to know how society sometimes could go extreme to blackmail you. So we just have to move on as a nation. So it was so devastating that we lost a chief of army staff. And look at Nigerians, some genuine Nigerians across social platforms. Check their WhatsApp platform, their DP. They're using the chief of army staff as their profile picture. It shows how some Nigerians are genuine and patriotic about this country. Those are the genuine people that miss the chief of army staff, not people that just want to make capital gains out of death of a chief of army staff that has family. He has mother.
I'm sure you won't have a different opinion. You're an APC person.
No, we are not looking at it from the party angle, really. Honestly,
it's beyond.
Let me be honest with you. The position of those who are querying the presidency, as well as in terms of not being present at the burial of the Kwaz, chief of army staff that passed on, I would not say it outrightly out of place to make such queries. Do you understand? It's natural for people to be concerned that I expected the presidency to be for the president himself or the vice president to be represented. But like he rightly said, we are humans and we have emotions. The young man that passed on is even just about a year older than even myself. In African parlance, he was 54 or 55.
Yes.
I'm close to that as well too. But so, I know what Lami is saying by now only. I had to be a brigadier general, whatever. If we had been in academics, we have been professors by now.
Yeah.
The young man, the VC of UI is actually my contemporary right now. I think I even left secondary school a year before him. So in the African palace, within the African context, you don't even attend the burial of somebody who is so junior to you. The young man was so junior. Probably, he had not even entered the system when Buhari was the head of state, or probably he was entering the army at that time.
Yes.
I can't get the figures of when he entered the army, when Buhari left. But the reality is that the presidency was so saddened. He is the father of the nation. It was money. It would be very difficult for that. It would naturally probably have betrayed emotions. Same for our vice president, who I know very well to be a very emotional person. I think I don't have the facts. I think it was based on the fact they don't want to lose emotion. And it's not compulsory. It's not in the constitution that compulsorily they should attend such funerals. It's not compulsory. There's nothing in the constitution that says you must attend the funeral. How many funerals would you expect the president to attend? So I do not let us all get emotional about this matter. The presidency has established the fact they are sad. The system, the whole country is sad. The whole country is money. So is the presidency as regards and issues. They sent out a condolence message to the Nigerian army, to the Nigerian armed forces immediately, and sent the Minister of Defense to represent the presidency at that time. Also, senators were there. I think a few notable Nigerians were also there. It was a very sad occurrence. Everybody was taken aback, shock, national shock. It has been a long time we experienced after the former chief of Azazi. I think this is a very recent, very national tragedy that we're all not happy about. So people should not be sentimental. They should pardon the presidency for that absence. Agreed. For whatever reason they have not, and we are agreeing that such response are not out of place to query the presidency for not being present at the burial. But it is not
as a matter of fact, to buttress what you said, he entered the Nigerian Army in 1984. When Buhari was
going out, when he was leaving. So can you imagine? So how would you feel as a great general coming to now,
attending a funeral of somebody?
Buhari was kicked out in 85. 83, Buhari took over from Shagari.
Yes, December 83.
83 November 1983.
And were kicked out in
85 August. So 84 was when Atairu entered the army. So that was when Buhari was his first tenure as
head of state. It could be because of the emotion, the national tragedy.
This was a private conversation with the chief of staff, with the vice president. My Esquire.
I don't think you should tell us about your private conversation on radio.
Just for you to know that people are really saddened at the presidency that we lost. And the importance of chief of army staff is the nucleus of Nigerian army. Forget about CDS, forget about any other. Chief of army staff is the nucleus of Nigerian army. And losing such a figure is so devastated. And people were so devastated, and it's not something encouraging to be celebrating.
We'll come back after this short break.
Big protein breakfast àṣírí ibẹ̀ nìyẹn. Bí ìyá mi máa ṣe ń jí láfẹ̀mọ́jú, wọ́n á ṣe oúnjẹ fún wa kí wọ́n tó sáré lọ sí ibi iṣẹ́. Lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà, bàbá wa máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ dalẹ́. Wọ́n sì tún jí lówùúrọ̀ láti gbé mi lọ sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́. Kò wá sí bó ṣe lè di gádígádí tó. Kì í rẹ̀ wọ́n láti máa bá mi ṣeré. Ìdí ìrètí wọn kì í kúrò nílé láì jẹ big protein breakfast.
Bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjọ́ rẹ pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ tó kún fún big protein amárata kébé.
Pig, rich for your pig.
Do you know that you have the right to quality broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja. or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that your complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that your complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC.
People go win 1 million naira grand prize each. Collect EcoBank card for your account and link your card to *326# or EcoBank mobile to increase your assurance. Terms and conditions apply. EcoBank African Bank.
iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná a máa fúnni ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ a sì máa mú ìdẹ̀rùn wá láti wá dènà ìjàmbá iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná ojúlówó wáyà tàbí kébù ló yẹ ká fi fa iná nínú ilé lọ́fíìsì àti nínú ìlú Purchem wires and cables ní àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ mọ̀nàmọ́ná àti àwọn agbaṣẹ́ṣe yàn láàyò ojúlówó ni kì í bó lára kò kì í jóná àbáàdì kì í kán sínú ó sì fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ ìdí nìyí tí Standard Organization of Nigeria fi fòǹtẹ̀tẹ̀ tí Nigeria Electrical Contractors náà fi dìbò fún bí copper cable ṣe wà ní aluminium cable ń bẹ nípele lówó tí kò gún pa Purchem wires and cables tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Kaman ló ṣe ojúlówó wires and cable jáde olú iléeṣẹ́ Purchem wires and cables limited wà ní Afrin's compound Fort Gate number 122/132 Oṣòdì Apapa expressway ìyànà ìsọlọ bus stop Lagos ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wọn ní 080-803-03257 Purchem wires and cables ìrọ̀rùn fi iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná.
Wetin you need na safeguard.
Children them like to dey play.
Them like to dey play.
Small pickins that must jolly oh.
Them like to dey jolly
But remember one thing, protect them with safeguard so. Protect them with safeguard. Protect them with safeguard so. From the teen and yama so the future go better.
Safeguard antibacterial soap dey comot every yama for body. E also dey available for 50-gram size.
Enter the place and it brighten. Make everybody they want.
This one a better way. Make I do go register Emeka. You dey do well, my daughter. Better pikin.
Learn at home na free audio e-learning platform on top which pikin dem from primary 1 reach SS3 fit dey attend class and dem even get past questions for 10 subjects. E dey work for any phone wey fit browse internet, even for Kpalasa phone. If na computer you wan use, no wahala. And na shikini data e dey chop. And if you dey use MTN, na awoof you dey o. You no go pay shishi. Oya, open your phone browser now. Make you enter www.learnathome.radio.
Now Data Science Nigeria join hand with the Mastercard Foundation carry learn at home come so.
ẹ̀sùn mọ́ bí ẹ wá gbọ́ fún mi ní fún mi náà lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin nípa oògùn amárají pépé omega h3 nínú ramadana tó o bá ti ṣínú tán omega h3 ní o lò. òun lẹ ti gbọ́ yẹn ohun ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ṣínú tán nínú àwẹ̀ ramadan yìí omega h3 ní kẹ́ ẹ máa lò á dá gbogbo okun tẹ́ ẹ ti pàdánù padà sí lára lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ omega h3 ó ń fúnni lókun ó ń ṣagbára dọ̀tun ó ń mára jí pépé àwọn èròjà tó ń ṣara lóore ló ń ṣalátìlẹ́yìn fún lo omega h3 lẹ́ẹ̀kan lójúmọ́ tó o bá ti ṣínú tán èmi Alhaji Wasiu Káyọ̀dé Asidik Babanwaka ló ń sọ fún yín pé nínú àwẹ̀ Ramadan yìí ẹ má jẹ́ kí omega h3 wọ́n nínú ilé yín o omega h3 alátìlẹ́yìn fún ìlera tó péye.
And the winners for the Indomie Eat and Win promo are Mrs. Obi and Davy.
Yes, mommy, we won! We won!
Yes, we won!
David, you still haven't told me how you won. It's simple, John. With Indomie Eat and Win.
Indomie Eat and Win?
Yes! Just buy 10 Indomitables pack, find the unique code at the back of the pack, go to www.indomitables.ng and enter your code to win amazing prizes every week and a stock prize of 100,000 Naira.
Wow! Let me go and get my Indomie now.
YS Live.
Welcome back. Let me quickly read this this comment on our Facebook page as regards what we were discussing before the break, because I want us to come straight to the NYSC issue. Ola Adonlawo says, "Well done, Mr. Yemi Sonde. I'm more surprised than disappointed by the statement of the guests. What's the meaning of the president is mourning? Therefore, he can't attend the funeral. For the loss of a single soldier in the line of duty, American president will attend. Russia president will attend. UK prime minister will attend. You are citing Yoruba culture as example. So long is not your child. You have to attend the burial of." You have to attend the burial, or else it's going to be used against you later. Politicians should stop thinking that everyone is a fool, naive, and gullible when they come on air like this. You want to quickly react to that?
Of course. People have right to their opinion, and he's actually stating his own opinion. And we cannot see things in a uniform way. The way he perceived to have been, and to have been, so be it. And some of us will not just be defending Mr. President. Beyond partisanship nomenclature, we are Iman and we are Nigerians. We are not from Benin Republic or Senegal. Sometimes when people want to copy, we should copyright. People cite examples of America, Russia. For 100 years in America, it was characterized with assassination and what have you. For 100 years. Abraham Lincoln was killed as sitting American president. 100 years later, JF Kennedy was assassinated. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in 1968. U.S. Attorney General was killed. So this nation had their own minuses when they were coming up on board. So citing examples of this world, so that does not suggest they were perfect. And the Nigerian national democracy is now 23 years. In 1999, we've always been having military interjections from First Republic to Second Republic. Third Republic was short-lived. Then until Fourth Republic in 1999. So we are evolving. We are evolving, not yet Uru. Let us just move on. How do we defeat menace of Boko Haram insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, and what have you? I told us that just yesterday, 2 days ago, in Ibadan here, a young woman, an innocent woman, a medical doctor, who is offering services, was kidnapped in front of her husband. So all those things should bother us, not somebody attending or somebody not attending funeral.
Okay, now let's quickly come to the NYSC
scheme.
Yes. The bill on the discontinuation of the National Youth Service Corps has reached the second reading in the House of Representatives. sponsored by the lawmaker representing Andoni Okpobo, Nkuru Federal Constituency of Rivers State, Akwaji Inumbek Abiante. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that well. And in the explanatory memorandum of the proposal, the bill listed various reasons why the NYSC should be scrapped. It said the NYSC has led to the incessant killing of innocent corps members in some parts of the country due to banditry, religious extremism, and ethnic violence. Incessant kidnapping of innocent corps members across the country. 2. Public and private agency departments are no longer recruiting able and qualified Nigerian youths, thus relying heavily on the availability of corps members who are not being well remunerated and get discarded with impunity at the end of their service year without any hope of being gainfully employed. Another reason that he claimed or he pushed forward was that due to insecurity across the country, the National Youth Service Corps management now gives considerations to posting corps members to their geopolitical zone, thus defeating one of the objectives of setting up the service corps, that is, developing common ties among the Nigerian youth and promote national unity and integration. The bill is seeking the alteration of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alteration Bill 2020. The youth service, which started on May 22, 1973, was established during the military regime of General Yakubu Gowon under Decree number 24 of 1973. That was 48 years ago. NYSC was established to reconcile and reintegrate Nigerians after the Nigerian Civil War. So now, we are saying it should go. The bill has passed the first reading, which was sponsored by the People's Democratic Party PDP lawmaker from Rivers State, Awaji Numbek Abiante. Now, it's going for the second reading. For the children of the rich, how many of them would want to go to Sokoto or Yobe? It is still the children of the poor that are sent to those places where they are butchered. He said. Reactions will come here definitely, and of course we allow our audience to actually react to this. The lawmaker argued that NYSC has failed to address the essence of its establishment, while several reform efforts have also not yielded desired results. So these are some of the reasons why that lawmaker proposed that it should be scrapped. What's your reactions?
Yes, I have not actually read the bill to have a detailed understanding, but of course, some of the issues that the man,
he suggested something. Sorry,
Numbek raised.
From Obong stated, from Obong, this is another one. Let me quickly take some reactions so that you can be more detailed. No, let me take it from Toyosi Godwin said, nothing techy about the NYSC. This is something that the South's been talked about. No one is talking about digital skills. Only left March remove the address. Nobody is talking about investment plans. So bad people are even advised not to bring laptop. A guardian of youth. Now, Kevin Odaze argued, discontinue it? No. There should be revamp the scheme. It should be a 3 months of military and vocational training. Then the graduate get 500,000 to 1 million naira afterwards to start their lives. They can choose to use it for business or master degree. Another reaction from Obong stated, I wasted my 1 year in the name of NYSC. I never enjoyed it and wouldn't like it forced on the younger ones when they would have used that 1 year for something more better. So Adewuyi Ademekwe said, NYSC gave a light to my path in life. The scheme helped some people's life. I might not really have an opinion on its dissolution, but NYSC actually made me and was very pivotal and transformative in my growth and development. Dayo Emmanuel Oferi advised, instead of scrapping, it should be compulsory 1 year where graduates learn different skills like photography, editing, fashion designing, computer works, and so on. Entrepreneurial skills, basically. So, these are some of the reactions from the members.
Looking at listening to your reactions, and reactions from the people has also confirmed some of the belief that some of us hold as regards NYSC. And by the grace of God, I am privileged to have served in 1991-92 set of the graduates. that went for NYSC, and I served in Benue State. I will not forget that experience for the rest of my life. Beautiful experience. For the first time, as a Nigerian youth, I had the opportunity to travel outside my base, the Yoruba Southwest area of Nigeria, and then got integrated with the Middle Belt part of Nigeria. Of course, we also had occasions where we had to go to the northern part of Nigeria, Kaduna precisely, and the Plateau State for assignments. And for the first time, we had understanding of what the nation, even as a geographer, you would not believe that some of the things I thought about Nigeria were wrong. I read geography and planning. But it was for the first time, and then I could now see that Middle Belt is not the same thing as the core north. You know, if you talk to a typical TV person or a typical Idoma person and you refer to him as Hausa, he will tell you, no, I'm not Hausa. I never knew that Benue State was not really, Hausa enclave. So some of these opportunities we had at that time gave us the opportunity of that integration and unity that were the original conceptual framework design of NYSC. So the NYSC program, the scheme was designed after the Civil War by the then General, the head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, who is still alive to today. We thank God for his life. You know, so they had good intentions with the scheme. Of course, over the years there could be challenges. They had not properly perfected the development of the scheme to actualize its goals and objectives. So we know, and again, we now have in our hands insecurity challenge, making it difficult for our young people from this part of the
from that perspective. Don't you think it should be scrapped?
It should not be scrapped. I agree with that aspect of it, where people are recommending for now, temporarily, while we are dealing with the problem of insecurity, don't post these young individuals to areas where there are challenges. Probably isolate those areas, but let them have the feel of the entire nation. Let them go and work somewhere else. Let them meet other Nigerians where in situ, and then have relationship with these various ethnic groups and understand their culture, understand their dynamics, understand the way of life, so that because don't forget that the crop of Nigerian graduates from the university and the polytechnic are supposed to be the nation economic drivers. They're supposed to be the ones that will be designing policies for the system, and also eventually over time grow up into leadership functions. We thank God for who we are today. To the glory of God, in the next generation of leadership is resting upon some of us now. If we had not been exposed to how the Fulanis were living, how the Hausas are living, how the TBs are living, how the Jukos are living, how the South people are living through this scheme, how do you want to begin to design policy and program for Nigeria and the entire country? So it's important for us to identify the potentials and the benefits of the scheme. Of course, there's no scheme in life, no program in life that will not have its challenges, that will not have areas where there are issues. So it's the duty of the people that are in charge to identify what are the issues that must be dealt with as regards a scheme. What are the areas where we are having lapses, and how do we identify those problems, and then proper solutions to the areas where there are issues. So after this scrapping NYSC, it's not going to serve any purpose for the nation. So, but identify the areas where we are having lapses. The areas, for instance, I agree with the aspect of entrepreneurship skill program for those young graduates as they are spending 1 year. I was even going to recommend that they should extend it to 2 years. Wow. Yes, because we're going to spend time working in organizations. We're going to spend half of the time also working in developing entrepreneurship skills. You may not have detailed appreciation of some of the things we want to learn in photography for 3-4 months. And then again, we are also talking about the aspect of introducing military training. They were supposed to introduce military training, short military training for us in those days. You remember we would do the march pass, we do the morning, the climbing of ropes and all that, and that walk that we call it endurance trek. Yeah. I can't forget that experience. It was a very these are the things that we used to sing.
Even funny song like that.
And so we're being trained, some military skills there, and they're not necessarily handling guns. But if they had introduced the military training to the program at that time, maybe shortly after it was established, maybe about 5-10 years, as we were planning to do that time, maybe by today, we will not be talking about insecurity in Nigeria, because most of us will know how to carry guns. And if you're attacking me with guns and I'm able to have access to gun, and you know what that means. So, but as it is, I would not support outright scrapping of NYSC, but I will support reforms.
fáwọn ìyá mi tó wà létí wọn gbóyìnbó tá à ń sọ Adéṣọ̀kan
bẹ́ẹ̀ni bíìlì yẹn ò ní
ìṣeré ìlú wọn ni pé kán pàtì
agùnbánirọ̀
àwọn agùnbánirọ̀ pé ká pàtì ká máa ṣe yẹn mọ́.
bíìlì tí ò lè fly ni.
kí ló dé tí ò fi lè fly.
essence of that NYSC òun ni kí integration wa and pàápàá jùlọ.
pé ká wọnú ara wa ká wọra dáadáa.
pàápàá jùlọ tẹ́ bá wò ó ti jẹ́ stop gap measure fún wa àmọ́ wọ́n ní amúkan ẹrù ẹ̀wọ́ ó lókè lẹ́wọ̀ ẹ̀ ò sàlẹ̀. NYSC òun ni pẹ́rẹ́gì tá lè fi lò kí evolution of our economic development láàrin àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ibẹ̀ láti lè lò òun ló fara pẹ́ skill acquisition entrepreneurship òun là ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa wípé àwọn tó bá fẹ́ dupò a fẹ́ jẹ gómìnà a fẹ́ jẹ aṣòfin ìyẹn lawmakers tó wà l'Àbújá àbí ní ìbílẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn with all due respect wọn ò mọ ọwọ́ ọ̀tún yàtọ̀ sí ọwọ́ òsì wọn ò mọ ohun tó yẹ ká gbé wá láàárọ̀ àti ká gbé wá lọ́sàn-án without sounding immodest mo láǹfààní láti mọ èèyàn méjì mẹ́ta tí wọ́n ń díje nípò gómìnà tẹ́ bá jókòó tì wọ́n láàrin wákàtí kan tá a jọ wà èmi àti ẹnìkan kó àgbà pé èèyàn ń polówó ẹnìkan ó dẹ̀ draw map Ọ̀yọ́ state pé tóun bá wọlé òun á ṣe lé òun á ṣe lé òun á gbé báyìí kódà kan tó búra fóun ní May 29 cabinet òun ti dúró so ọ̀rọ̀ ń bọ̀ wá bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ iwájú bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ tá a bá tún dọ́rọ̀ ẹlòmíì àtẹ̀ sí Yemi Sonde àtẹ̀ sí Kúnlé Ọlátúnjí àtẹ̀ sí lè mò ń bọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ fún mi ìṣẹ́jú méjì ìyẹn túmọ̀ sí pé ẹni tó ní capacity so ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tó àyàn sípò ní gómìnà ni o wọn ò ní capacity ẹlòmíì akọ́sùn ajílẹ̀ òun kóun di gómìnà àbí òun lówó lọ́wọ́ kó òun mi kí n di aṣòfin la fi ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn ohun tí bọ̀dá mi sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan Kúnlé Ọlátúnjí ipe participatory democracy a ní láti dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí àwọn ìyá wa tó wà lóde ẹ̀yin náà ẹja bá dá sí ta ló fẹ́ jáde kánsẹ́lọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa ta ló fẹ́ jáde ń bí kì í ṣe ẹni tí ó fún mi lówó tọmọ tèmi ó wà lóde tọmọ tí ó wà ní University of Ibadan ọmọ tí ó lọ ìlú èbó àmọ́ òjẹ́ ń bí ló fọmọ tèmi sí kọ́mọ tèmi máa mu sìgá kó máa mu gbó àmọ́ ọmọ tí ó kọjá sọ̀hún so àfẹ́ yẹn mọ́ ohun tẹ́ bá wò níbo ni Bọ́lá Ìgè ti jáde ta ni bàbá wa Jímọ̀bí ta ló bí Richard Akínjídé àwọn lọ́wọ́ Òbíṣẹ̀san ẹ wo àwọn orúkọ tá à ń dákọ̀ ń bàdàn yìí àwọn ọba Akínyẹlé so ẹ̀kọ́ ló gbé wọn débi tí wọ́n dé so ọ̀rọ̀ agùnbánirọ̀ kì í ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ kí wọ́n wọ́gi lé òun gangan ní pẹ́rẹ́gì ta lè fi mọ̀ bóyá àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa wọ́n á lè ta kété sókè so òun là ń pè ní skill acquisition entrepreneurship leadership mentorship tẹ́ bá wo bàbá wa Tony Elumelu òun ń ṣe for Africa so òun là ń sọ ní pé nísìn tán bá wà ń bẹ̀ ètò ń fún wọn ní 30,000 28,000 òun kọ́ owó yìí wọ́n lè gbàjọ fún wọn kí wọ́n já sókè kó máa lọ bí 48-50,000 lẹ́yìn oṣù mẹ́wàá kan kó owó yìí fún wọn photography náà ṣe ni àmọ́ tó ní masters in photography they are doing fine ẹ wo T.Y. Bello graduate University of Lagos ni ó ya fọ́tò so gbogbo ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ èmi sì mo mẹ́yìn tà tẹ́ bá ní wá tẹ̀yìn mo lè tẹ̀yìn lójú oorun so.
ṣé wọ́n tún máa ń kọ́ yẹn ni.
kíkọ́ ni tí o bá kọ́ṣẹ́ owó ṣíṣe ọlọ́mọdé aṣọ owó ṣọ́ọ̀tì.
ta ló kọ́ Adéṣọ̀kan lẹ́yìn títà.
ẹ má jà sọ kọ́ má lọ dẹ.
àbá ẹlẹ́yin. a padà lọ́ta bá padà dé ẹ̀yin èèyàn tẹ́ wà nílé ẹ máa bá wa dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ ilé iná abala bíi torí mo tún bọ̀ ní abala ti local government àti ti security ẹja àkọ́kọ́ ṣabalẹ̀ ilé ìtọ́nà àsìkò ní òfẹ́ tó báyìí ẹja ṣe ń pàápàá bàbá ẹlẹ́yin àpadà bọ̀tà bá kọ́lé ọjà tó.
My people, better don land. Make una come see ogbonge cable wey dem manufacture for Obodo, Nigeria. Na Pure Cables. Pure Cables na correct electrical cable wey dey reliable, dependable, and the people wey dem make am call dey safety conscious. Pure Cables get original copper and aluminium cable for different sizes dem wey you fit use for electrical wiring level for anywhere. Whether na your house, abi na your office, the price nko e no dey tear pocket at all. Nationwide distribution don start. For more information, call 0808 030 3257 0808 030 3257. Pure Cable and Wire Limited. They have print compound 40 gate 122/132 Oshodi Apapa Expressway, Iyano Solo bus stop, Lagos. Pure Cables, Nigerian electrical contractors endorser, SON approver. Pure Cables, na Yubico.
It's game night at the Bensons and everyone's having fun. Then, this.
Hey,
Hey, son, what's the matter? You too? No way.
Don't let coughs and the common cold ruin your fun time. Tuxil range of uniquely formulated day and night syrups provides effective relief from cough and cold. Product may cause drowsiness. Tuxil, the job gets done when the cough is gone. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
Gbogbo ènìyàn ẹ kí kábíyèsí tó wọlé dé. Kábíyèsí o. Ó dé, ó ta gbogbo wọn yọ, ó rọ́ wọn tòkè tilẹ̀, ó balẹ̀ bí ọ̀wàrà òjò. Àmbà! Ohun mímu afúnilágbára tí ń jẹ́ kára ẹni ó jí pépé tó bá dàbí ẹni pàgbára ń lọlẹ̀ tí ò fẹ́ ságbára mọ́. Gbàgòlò àmbà kan kó o gbé lura. Àmbà energy drink la fi èso guarana pèlò. Ó sì kún fún oríṣiríṣi èròjà aṣaralóore àti fítámì. Tọkùnrin tóbìnrin ló lè mú. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kò lọ́tí nínú rárá. Ó wà káàkiri ilé ìtajà tó súnmọ́. Béèrè fún kan tiẹ̀ lónìí. Kò jẹ gbádùn tó ṣàrà ọ̀tọ̀. Amber Drink Limited tó wà ní ọgbà Coco Industries 1 Coco Road off Akilo Road ọgbà Ìkẹjà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ló ń pin tó ń tà. Ìwọ náà lè bá wọn dòwò pọ̀ lónìí láti jẹ́ alágbàtà tàbí aláràtúntà. Nọ́mbà yìí ni kó o pè sí 070-2606-4458. Amber Energy Drinks ṣàfikún agbára inú rẹ.
If you don't know the transfer news, you might tell your friends your team has the top striker.
What are you talking about?
If you tell your friends your team has the top striker, they might loudly disagree. If they loudly disagree, the whole viewing center might get involved. If the whole viewing center gets involved, you might lose the argument. If you lose the argument, you might kick the floor in frustration. Before things get out of hand, settle it with Google Search. Get the latest football news, live scores, transfers, probabilities, and so much more on your Google app.
Should instill in us right values needed to transform our country into a nation free of corruption. But first, we must know the meaning of this corruption of a thing. I don't call it a phenomenon. I call it a virus. I call it a disease.
The Splash FM Oratory Contest 2021 is here, and it's bigger and better. It's time for worthy students to exercise their oratory skills. Finals come up on the 26th of May 2021 at MOV 21 Event Center. Time 12 noon. In the words of Dale Carnegie, only the prepared speaker deserves to be confident. Invited schools should come prepared and punctual.
For inquiries and sponsorship, call 0805-699-8701. This event is sponsored by Dr. Fola Akinyoshun and Kiram Lee Gym and Fitness Center.
Please note, all COVID-19 measures will be duly observed.
I feel alive, so alive. When I'm with my best friends, indulging my G exotic. Nothing makes my drink more than when the mixer is delightful G exotic. And after a long day, I wanna relax with the taste of my G exotic. The taste of G exotic.
Indulge and get lost in the deeply satisfying taste of the G Exotic range of delicious fruit blends.
G Exotic Nectar. I love the taste. Now available in can.
1xBet, oh, 1xBet. Everyone agrees that 1xBet is the favorite bookie because of the highest odds, fast deposits, ability to sell slips, bet insurance, and more. What's even more exciting about 1xBet is that you can make money from things like virtual games, basketball, horse racing, and more. Log on to 1xBet.ng to register, and don't forget to use the promo code RadioWin and get 200% bonus on your first deposit. 1xBet, bet for every taste.
Big protein breakfast àṣírí ibẹ̀ nìyẹn. Bí ìyá mi máa ṣe ń jí láfẹ̀mọ́jú, wọ́n á se oúnjẹ fún wa kí wọ́n tó sáré lọ sí ibi iṣẹ́. Lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà, bàbá wa máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ dalẹ́. Wọ́n sì tún jí lówùúrọ̀ láti gbé mi lọ sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́. Kò wá sí bó ṣe lè di gádígádí tó. Kì í rìn wọ́n láti máa bá mi ṣeré. Ìdí ìrètí wọn kì í kúrò nílé láì jẹ big protein breakfast.
Bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjọ́ rẹ pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ tó kún fún big protein amárata kébé.
Pig, rich for your pig.
If you no sabi transfer news, you fit tell your padi say na your team get correct top striker.
What are you talking about?
If you tell your padi say na your team get correct top striker, dem fit shout dey follow you argue.
No way.
If dem shout dey follow you argue, everybody for viewing center fit shook mouth for the matter. If dem shook mouth for the matter, you fit fall your hand for the matter. If you fall your hand for the matter, you fit kick bench as you dey vex. Abeg, before you enter yawa, settle the matter with Google Search. Get the latest football news, live scores, transfers, probabilities, and anything wey concern football with your Google app.
You can have it hot, big chocolate. You can have it cold, big chocolate. You can have it at home, at school, at work, or when you hit the road. It doesn't matter who you are.
doesn't matter. Have a rich cup of peak chocolate anytime and enjoy the delicious nourishment of chocolatey goodness.
Peak chocolate it is.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, Panadol Extra náà ni Panadol Extra. Ó tún ti ń bẹ báyìí nínú ìdí kékeré oníkápẹ́lẹ̀tì mẹ́rin láàdọ́ta náírà péré. Panadol Extra kẹ́nẹ́ ni Panadol Extra mú tura bẹ́ fọ́rí, ìrora ẹ̀yìn, ìrora oríkèé, ìrora nǹkan oṣù àti ìrora eyín. Tí ì bá ṣe Panadol, kò lè jẹ́ bí Panadol. Tá ìbára ò bá sí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì, lọ rí dókítà. Panadol Extra ní paracetamol àti caffeine nínú, kò sí fáláboyún àtàwọn ọmọdé tọ́jú orí wọn kéré sọ́dún 12.
I don't like distractions when I study, especially now that WAEC is only a few months away. I like to just lock myself in my room with my booklets for solving problems, calculator, past questions, and my phone. Yes, my phone. With my phone, I go to www.learnathome.radio, a 24-hour audio e-learning platform. Learn at Home has classes in over 10 subjects for pupils and students from primary 4 to SS3. But most importantly, Learn at Home has classes that cover past questions in WAEC and Junior WAEC and other exams. Do you see why I love it? Just go to www.learnathome.radio now and join in. It is free and doesn't require much data. And if you're on MTN, it is absolutely free to browse and learn. Let me go back to my studying.
Learn at Home is brought to you by Data Science Nigeria in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation.
Súnmọ́ bí ẹ wá gbọ́ fún mi náà lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin nípa oògùn amárají pépé omega H3 nínú Ramadan tó o bá ti ṣínú tán omega H3 ní o lò. Òun lẹ ti gbọ́ yẹn ohun ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ṣínú tán nínú àwẹ̀ Ramadan yìí omega H3 ní kẹ́ ẹ máa lò. Á dá gbogbo okun tẹ́ ẹ ti pàdánù padà sí lára lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Omega H3 ó ń fúnni lókun ó ń ṣagbára dọ̀tun ó ń mára jí pépé àwọn èròjà tó ń ṣara lóore ló ń ṣalátìlẹ́yìn fún. Lo Omega H3 lẹ́ẹ̀kan lójúmọ́ tó o bá ti ṣínú tán. Èmi Alhaji Wasiu Káyọ̀dé Asidik Babanwaka ló ń sọ fún yín pé nínú àwẹ̀ Ramadan yìí ẹ má jẹ́ kí Omega H3 wọ́n nínú ilé yín o. Omega H3 alátìlẹ́yìn fún ìlera tó péye.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ojúlówó Nasco cornflakes kún fún èròjà tí ń ṣara lóore tó dára nítorí wípé all flaked cornflakes náà ni all flaked cornflakes ní apilẹ̀ṣe ní ìlànà tí gbogbo èròjà ṣara lóore inú rẹ̀ ò fi lè yingin. Oúnjẹ aṣara lóore ni adùn inú rẹ̀ afẹnuwó ó sì dára fún gbogbo ẹbí. Nítorí náà tí àtijẹ cornflakes bá dé rí i dájú pé all flaked Nasco cornflakes ló yàn láàyò oúnjẹ aládùn tó dára ní gbogbo ìgbà.
Desire quality university education for your children and wards? Then take advantage of the open admission session of King's University, Odeomu, Osun State. The King's University, Odeomu, Osun State open admission session holds between Monday 24th to Wednesday 26th May 2021 at Ibadan, Ile-Ife and Osogbo from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Come to the open admission session venue with your O-level and JAMB results in Ibadan. Venue is 5th office, 1st floor, mobile filling station, Samunda, Songo, UI Road, Ibadan, Oyo State. In Ile-Ife, venue is Glory to Glory Supermart along Ife-Ibadan Expressway, opposite Cameron Hotels, Ile-Ife, Osun State. In Osogbo, come to former Mr. Biggs Dignitas Restaurant, Igbono, Osogbo, Osun State. For further inquiries, please visit www.kingsuniversity.edu.ng or call 0815-084-6566 or 0810-584-6574. King's University, raising leaders, transforming minds.
YS Live.
YS Live.
YS Live.
Kúnlé ń sọ̀rọ̀ kan lábẹ́nú ìyẹn ni mo fẹ́ ká fi wọlé kí n tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbà àwọn àlèyàn láti bá a dá sí i. Ohun tójú rẹ̀ rí nígbà tó lọ sáàbù.
Àwọn tí wọ́n sọ pé kí wọ́n jẹ́ ká máa ṣe NYSC scheme mọ́ wọn mọ iye NYSC scheme. Ọkùnrin tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ àwájì náà múlòbókè ẹ̀wẹ̀rẹ̀ I don't know mi mọ̀ bóyá òun náà sáàbù ṣùgbọ́n mo experience kan tí mo nígbà mo lọ sáàbù Benue State Ìdúmà mo ti sáàbù ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn Ìdúmà mo ti sáàbù. Tí wọ́n bá tẹ́ bá mọ àwọn ará Benue dáadáa wọ́n ń dáko wọ́n dẹ̀ oúnjẹ dẹ̀ pọ̀ ń bẹ̀. In fact wọ́n máa mú mi lọ sóko wọn pé màá wá roko wọn kó wá lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ aago 5 aago 4 àbọ̀ wọn ti jí kúrò nílé láàárọ̀ kùtùkùtù wọn àti ìyàwó àtọkọ àtàwọn ọmọ wọn ti lọ sínú oko by 7:30 they are back to dress for their work àti teacher o àti alákọ̀wé gbogbo wọn náà lóko ní Benue State tí mo gbà tí mo ìlú ibi tí mo gbé ní government secondary school Òtùpó bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo gbé family to host me the other colleagues mo gbàdúrà pé gbogbo táwọn ọmọ wọn náà bá wà lónìí àwọn ọmọ wọn máa ṣeré wọn máa lálùbáríkà àwọn àdàkọ́lé tí wọ́n bá rí tí èéfín bá rú tú torí ẹ̀kọ́ kan oúnjẹ àwọn Benue rice iṣu nǹkan rice ìrẹsì oríṣiríṣi àwọn náà máa àtẹwà wọn láìkẹ́ kó wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń ṣe papọ̀ ni bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lọ́bẹ̀ wọn náà máa ń ṣe papọ̀ ni ó dẹ̀ máa ń dùn ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀kọ́ kan bí ọmọ Yorùbá awù mí kí n ṣe ọbẹ̀ ata mi lọ́tọ̀ ewédú mi lọ́tọ̀ àbí ilá mi lọ́tọ̀ kí n fi ẹ̀kọ́ kan bẹ́ẹ̀ máa sáré ya dọ́gbọ́n sí tán bá rí tí stove mi bá ń ṣe ìfínú àbí tán rí pé mo ṣe kúrú kẹrẹ they will come and meet me Kúnlé àwòpẹ àṣẹ àtọ́jú yín dáadáa ni ṣé kí lọ fẹ́ àbí nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ kí n dáná oúnjẹ tẹ bá rí mi nígbà mo wà tí mo jáde yunifásitì lẹ́gẹ́lẹ́gẹ́ báyìí mo rí ṣùgbọ́n láàrin ọdún kan tí mo padà sí Ìbàdàn àwọn parents mi gan wò pé bóòlù ó jẹ́ lọ́lọ́ jẹ ní wọ́n bọ́ mi yó.
àwọn kan on react sí tó ń sọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí fúnra Babalọlá ni what year was he saying when Nigeria was working
1991
when Nigeria was working
what made Nigeria not working again.
Okay,
That's
let me quickly take this reactions on our Facebook and then we take some calls as well. Adebisi Sheriff Dean Abidemi, well done Mr. Yemi Sonde and his guests. Please, I have interest in scrapping NYSC. What do you mean? Okay. If I have an opportunity to be among the legislative or in power, I will erase NYSC. Instead, I will total all expenses spent, budget for NYSC candidates, and pay it to his or her account for them to start something. If they are not opportune to secure white collar job, because 95% of NYSC candidates are useless, doing nothing during and after the service, just like wasting of time. We do call NYSC scam because instead of graduates to secure job, they give copper job, the job that is not used to. For instance, I don't mind this English. During my service, I was posted to Nasarawa to teach agricultural science, which I don't have passion for because I studied building technology with 5 to 7 years practical experience. If you pick my call, I think I will elaborate my speech than this. What he's trying to say, I think you get what he's trying to say.
You see, that time, the purpose of this scheme was also to help some states that were having problem with their personnel and to develop along some of the states that are at advantage. For instance, you know that at that time, the northern part of the country was a little bit behind in terms of academic excellence. So our people from here who are graduates from the Southwest, we were assisting them to meet up. And there's nothing bad about doing that. We have a responsibility for the entire country as Nigerians. So that time you would see many of us, I read geography and planning, and I was posted to teach in Benue State. Most of the time, majority of us found ourselves in schools, and those kids today, we thank God we imparted in their lives. They are graduates today as well. They are medical doctors. The South has helped the North to also pick up and grow. That's part of the purpose of the scheme. Then now back down in Southwest, some of them they were posted here. Also, they were adding value to our system here. The problem with the scheme is that it has not been properly organized and structured. No monitoring of what the young people were doing at their places of work. Who is checking over on them at the places where they were posted to? Because they don't check anybody. Service. We had the CSLO, corporate liaison officer, who will be taking our reports to the central, then to also organize our payments of the payment of our salaries. So, we had a duty to go to work. See, today our youths have lost certain values of commitment and responsibility. Why should, after you have graduated from university, you have been trained in certain vocations? Why should anybody be monitoring your commitment to your duty? It shows that you don't even understand what you have gone to the university to study.
Another reaction from Babalọlá, it says, well done, please, for me, NYSC should be scrapped. It has lost the spirit behind its establishment. The system is now an avenue for some people to get rich and make our children vulnerable. For example, do a research on Enugu camp. no light, water, even the hall where they are dwelling has no net on its windows. It's even risky now, posting our children beyond their zones because of kidnappers, bandits, and generally insecurity in the entire country. Please keep the good work on. The reaction to that now, we have calls.
Yes, people are actually making sense. But holistically, we cannot go to scrap NYSC. It's enduring. But we can just take input to enhance. Like KTJ said, like in Oyo State, a certain governor, Abiola Jimobi, rebuilt the NYSC permanent orientation camp in the Seyin. And another member representing the federal constituency built hostel. So we need to be contributing, and we have this Ahmed Raji SAN. Contributing to that development of that place. The same thing in Shagamu, Otumba Benga Daniel rebuilt that permanent. The same thing there, Olaguso Ilola.
Hello, good morning.
So we need to be, improving our infrastructure to meet up certain millennium goals demands.
Hello.
Ẹ kú ètò ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Wálé Abọ́mọdé.
Good.
Àwọn tó wà lọ́dọ̀ yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ mo láìkì wọn. Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ ìgbà tí security wà Nàìjíríà. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kó bí kankan fojú sunkún ọmọ ẹ̀.
Àmín o.
Ní ilé ẹ̀bà tí ọmọ Kánà Post ọmọ mi sílẹ̀ Igbo àbílẹ̀ Awúsá ti ń jẹ́ kó lọ. For now, what is going on in Nigeria? Kéèyàn bá láìka ara ẹ̀ NYSC program ẹni tó gbé ṣọ́ọ̀ṣọ̀ ẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ó gbé sílẹ̀ ilẹ̀ fọ́ọ̀mù tó jẹ́ wípé a fi máa wọnú ara wa tribe yẹn a wọnú ara wa a lè marry ara wa but not this time around. The man that is saying in 1991 he enjoy his dream a lot of things. That is why we are calling Nigeria in Nigeria. 1993 MKO Abiola Baba Kingibe kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ religion nígbà yẹn I believe we are one Nigeria. Not this time around. Concerning the chief of soldier you mentioned the other time. Àwọn tó ń kú dúró ní Ọbásanjọ́ rẹ̀ jìm tọ́básanjọ́ fi kúrò ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó lọ tó fi wálé ọmọ kékeré ní náà jẹ́ tọ́básanjọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kó sọ̀rọ̀ fúnra wa ẹlẹ́ran ara ni wá gbogbo wa la máa kú. Báìbù sọ wípé ó bẹ́tà ká máa lọ síbi òkú ju bí ìyàwó lọ. Ìkọ́ òye wa máa yí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ òkè káàtún kọ́ba rẹ̀ pé pẹ́sidẹ̀ntì wa ò ráyè fi léyìí. Àwọn pásùwọ̀n tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ńkọ́ pẹ́sidẹ̀ntì ò ráyè náà. Let's call it spade. Security in this Nigeria we are now zero. Báwo lẹni ẹjẹ máa jíbẹ̀ sáfù pé wọ́n jí ìyàwó gbé níwájú ọkọ̀ ẹ̀ ní Arúmọláràn nìbàdàn níbà yìí. Gbogbo alábọ̀ pé security Nigeria ṣe kò ṣe. Mo láìpẹ́ láti máa drive lórí. Wọ́n bí mi dáa kéèyàn kò ní aago 6 ọ̀rọ̀lẹ́ ń tètè wá gbé mi lọ Èkó. Màá ní mi ìlọ. Mo wà ní Àpápá ní 2 weeks ago lórí bíríìjì Àpápá nínú odò ọ̀pẹ. Kẹwàá wo báwọn bọ́ọ̀sì jẹ́ ìkànnẹ̀kù lọ́gbà fún wọ́n gbé máa kan wọ́n náà máa jù sínú odò ṣé bẹ̀rẹ̀ jù àtọ̀ fún ìṣìn wa lọ lálẹ́. Ẹ kú ètò Ọlọ́run á nífẹ̀ẹ́ wa ẹ ṣe náà.
All right, I think we should just quickly take the Oyo State local government elections so that we have just 10 more minutes. So, Oyo State local government election, PDP won in 32 out of 33 local government areas.
I do tell people when I have opportunity, to me or to APC in general, what we had in Oyo State was Oyo State local government selection, not an election.
How do you mean? People voted? What is selection?
Not people voted. We have to be very sincere with ourselves. It bleeds some of our people's hearts that the democracy we actually yearn for is not what we are experiencing. Particularly our governor, His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde, that came on board on the mantra of Omi Tuntun. Every Yoruba sons and daughters know the meaning of Omi Tuntun. It's a new birth, new rebirth, societal rebirth. But what we seem to be having in the last 2 years, completely holistically, is Omi Dandaru. It's not Omi Tuntun. Because you cannot just wake up when a party to a suit at the Supreme Court, we're in court, and we don't need to be a lawyer. That status quo needs to be remain. And you expected APC as a party to participate in an election, we were in court over. And thankfully, our judiciary, actually spoke glowingly of what happened in 2019 when a chief of staff, a mere appointee of the governor, announced the solution of a elected local government chairman. And we have, pathetically, we have head of an agency Are Isiaka Olagunju, senior advocate of Nigeria, as the chairman of OSEC. He's a very good Egbo. I've spoken with him in different fora on radio that you should learn from Justice Fatah Adeyinka, former LASEC chairman in Lagos State, who conducted local government election in 2008 when BRF was governor. Babajide Obanikoro was PDP candidate. Beyond partisanship in nomenclature, sometimes we need to speak truth to power. For us as a Nigerian patriot, we need to ascertain some certain things in our daily lives. How can you, and even beyond that, you conduct an election in Ibadan land? We saw the young man speaker, we saw the members of representatives. People were killed in a PDP versus PDP election. So is that a legacy? Is that free and fair? I listened to my governor, His Excellency, and Abiodun Seyi Makinde on air yesterday that the election, local government election, was a free and freeze election. I was just laughing. My daughter was looking at me. What are you laughing? So I was laughing what the governor was saying. See, it tells us more about genuineness and caliber of people we are having and the aims of affairs. It was not limited to PDP alone, but in this particular message, we are talking about a local government election. So we are now going back to the basics that INEC should take over conduct this local government election, because these state governors that we are advocating for, that they should have state police, they are messing up LASEC, OSEC, or SIEC in their state. The same thing goes to SUBEB. So when a state government or your state government borrowed 1.5 billion naira to pay counterpart fund for UBEC to access 1.5 billion, so the same government went to bank, commercial bank, to borrow 16 billion naira at commercial rate. Then when you come back home with that money to build motor parks, motor garages. So that tells you more that Adechokan comes to Yemi Sonde, Emma Binu Okolilonko Egbo, Yemi Sonde borrow me 10 million naira to go and buy Prado Jeep when I don't have a 3-bedroom flat on my head. I'm seeing a rented apartment. Am I a serious Adechokan? Am I a serious owner, a serious father? So what we are saying is what happened on Saturday in Oyo State is a darkest history in Oyo State political lexicon.
Some people claim that what APC could not do in 8 years, PDP did it in 24 months.
People forgot that when we were in power, PDP plugged us in this crisis. Ladoja versus Akala Osek. They took the matter to court. And we took advantage of that. We applied civility. We allowed those matters to spend off in court. On Thursday, thugs were sent to High Court against our lawyers from Shewa Bimbola SAN chamber. Thugs, numbers over 200 thugs. And see, we are still coming up with a paper on that. Why would you send thugs to High Court Ring Road? And already by 5 p.m. on Thursday, public holiday was declared emergency. So in all of this, let
me quickly react to this. And I'm not going to be sentimental at all. I expected that at this level of our own age group involvement in politics and governance, we should have been able to get beyond the level of partisan politics and face the reality of the need for all of us to collectively be responsible to develop our society and take the system to the next level of development. That is what is expected of our generation. Now, when the same generation is now taking us back to the woods, it's very sad. Believe me, it's not because I'm an APC party man. I spoke with the authority and I told them, look, the best thing at this time is to suspend this election and postpone it for at least about 2 months, so that APC will be able to participate and it will have the resemblance of a real election. Because what happened yesterday on Saturday was just, like you said, selection of it was practically a PDP affair. So, but if you had opposition is supposed to sustain and help government to improve on a regular basis. Don't see opposition as a threat. So it was as if they saw APC as a threat. Now, what we are looking at, what we're talking about now is that I expected that at the time, that situation was being concluded, that APC, as at that time, could not have participated in that election at the Abin issue because APC was in court. Some of us were interested in contesting as local government chairman, but morally and technically, there was no way we could have fielded candidates while in court. So immediately the case was but if it happened that the Supreme Court gave judgment and said those people should be returned, or you would have to stop the election. So because there were possibilities that the Supreme Court could have said let those people return back to power, or whatever other options that they had. Now the election had held.
Hello, good morning.
APC did not participate.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, ẹ káàárọ̀.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ o.
Nípa ti election tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn. Local government election ó lọ dáadáa lọ́sẹ̀. Ọ̀tá ẹni ìbòdù ọ̀yà. Ṣé rí àwọn APC? Ó tí wọ́n ń fẹ́ ni pé wọ́n rò pé àwọn Supreme Court wọ́n máa dá padà sí council ní ò jẹ́ kí wọ́n participate. Tó ń tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn ó dùn wọ́n dénú eegun ó dàbí ejò tí a ń ké sí méjì lọ́rọ́ wọn.
Kí lorúkọ yín sà máa.
Orúkọ mi ni Ayọ̀ Bàbá Ẹgbẹ́ látàpátá.
Ayọ̀ Bàbá mi ní Ayọ̀
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni bàtà Adésọ̀kàn APC ní. Àgbogbo tó ń sọ yẹn irọ́ ló dé ń pa. Wọ́n fẹ́ kí wọ́n dá padà sí káàsì wọn ò sì dá wọn padà. Ohun tó dùn wọn gẹ́gẹ́ nìyẹn o. Tó ti yé tó wọn ò pẹ́ wọ́n pè kí wọ́n parí wọn ò participate. The number 2 nípa kí NYSC. One of the reasons why I say they should be scrapped is that there is high level of corruption in NYSC. High level. If you ask them to go and kill 3 cows per day, they will cook you beans and rice, no meat. And they keep the money to their pocket. So they should stop it. The number 2, on insecurity. All right? I cannot ask my daughter or my child or any of my child to be taken to any part of the country now because of insecurity. Now, irú bàtà Adésọ̀kàn tó sọ yìí pé òun ò gbà yẹn, ẹ jẹ́ kó máa tẹ̀ lọ sí Àfàrà, kó máa máa lọ sí Benue, lọ́wọ́ àdàmọ̀ yìí pé ó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣàfẹ́ NYSC. Ẹ má dà lọ́wọ́.
A ti sọ pé
ọ̀rẹ́ wa ni láti àpáta PDP làwọn APC lè amọ̀ra wa dáadáa. Ohun tí à ń sọ nípa òṣèlú nìyẹn. Tí a bá ní ká sọ ọ̀rọ̀ fún ìjọba, bàbá wa Ṣèyí Mákindé wọ́n cancel 1,000 naira. Wọ́n fún oṣù kẹsàn-án ni kò sí school tó gba grant ní Ọ̀yọ́ state. Àwọn ọmọ ń kọṣẹ́ sójú bọ́ọ̀dù ni wọ́n ò rí ìwé tẹ pépà láti ṣe exam. So owó yìí wọ́n náà ń kówó jẹ ara wọn tá à ń sọ nìyẹn. Wọ́n kó NYSC jẹ kò míì pé wọn ò ní tún ṣe. Àlùjọ̀nú ló ń kó ni.
Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ yàn ló ń kó jẹ?
Èèyàn ló ń kó jẹ ìgbọ́dọ̀ mú ni.
Ẹ káàárọ̀.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ sà.
Yes sir.
Adéọlá Ọlágbájú láti Ilé-Ifẹ̀.
Pápápá torí àsìkò.
Ìyẹ̀sàṣẹ́ rí ìbò ìjọ sátọ̀dẹ̀ yẹn ò máa kí n ṣe bò. Ìsìnkọ́ irú ìdí kan yẹn tó rọ́mọ Ìbàdàn ni nídìí kan kò kì í ṣe bò wọ́n kàn PDP kan di nǹkan wọn lówó orí ara wọn ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ nípa àwọn youth corpers yẹn in fact mi láìpẹ́ pé kí wọ́n scratch nítorí pé èèyàn ti pa èso oríire. Obìnrin mi rọkọ̀ ọkùnrin mi ríyàwó even because mo ní opportunity láti gbé sáàjì jìgá wá dókítà kan wà tó wá sáàbù wọ́n dá dúró síbẹ̀ ni nítorí ẹ̀mí àláìkì ẹ̀ torí iṣẹ́ tó lè yí bẹ̀ yẹn sọ ọlọ́run àfààní gbà wá ìgbà tí Nàìjíríà bá ń dá wọn ní gbé wa bọ̀.
àmín.
Ṣẹ́rí ti ọ̀rọ̀ òbò yẹn ká máa ká torí àsìkò kí wọ́n jọ ìjọba tí à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ sí báyìí kì í ṣe ìjọba ẹgbẹ́ ìjọba àti dún ìlú ṣe ni. Kádẹ̀ra gbogbo lápapọ̀ kájọ tún Nàìjíríà ṣe.
Party short Adésọ̀kan.
Ọlọ́run kó dẹ́mi wá sí kó má bà Ọ̀yọ́ state jẹ́ ibi là ń gbé kó má bà Nàìjíríà jẹ́ gbogbo ohun tó kù díẹ̀ àtò security gbogbo ẹni tí yóò kàn ló mọ̀ Ọlọ́run má jọ aburú kàn wá.
Àwọn kan tẹ̀sí ní ìbéèrè wọ́n ní ṣé ẹjọ́ tó wà ń kọ́ọ̀tù ṣé láàrin APC àti ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ nàbí àti ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àti AGAN.
AGAN OSEC àti ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ni OSEC náà wà ń bẹ̀ wọ́n fọwọ́ lágbára lójú ni.
Ọ̀dà bó bá ṣe ń lọ a tún pè yín.
a gbàjọba padà.
ẹ ṣe kí ni.
pẹ̀lú bọ́lá 23.
lágbára Ọlọ́run.
Omi ti domi dáńdàrú báyìí à ń bọ̀.
kìtì ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ omi.
Progress Smile Media ni ń ya fọ́tò wa official photographer Dàmọ́lá Ológunfe tana producer Yoboro Sport amari Yoboro lónìí Desmond to the G Yemi Sonde lórúkọ tèmi kí lórúkọ yẹn tẹ sa Ismail Spider okay aláǹtakùn tí ń takùn ayọ̀ yóò máa dùn ní kò ní kàn àmàlàyé àfẹ́ ògbọ́dọ̀ tutù Yemi Sonde Media House Yemi Sonde Crescent ibẹ̀ ní ọ́fíìsì Yemi Sonde wà www.ysclimited.com fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀ lọ́sípìtì wà wà ibẹ̀ lọ́fíìsì wà tí a ti mọ dáyín lóhùn fún ìpolówó ọjà kankan ìjèjì àtúpàdé lágbára Ọlọ́run tó bá dọjọ́ mẹ́jọ 00355298883 00355298883 àmàlàyé àfẹ́ ògbọ́dọ̀ tutù mo máa ń gbádùn ẹ̀ gan-an ní gbígbóná gbáà ó dọjọ́ mẹ́jọ.
The opinions and views expressed by guests on this program